Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name's Lily, just in case you're new here. So my channel is a place where I just share all of my healthy vegan recipes with all of you guys. So sometimes I like to do what I eat in a day, so that's what today's gonna be. And I'm just gonna go through my day and just kind of show you guys everything that I eat in a typical day. So I just woke up, and for breakfast I am gonna have some veggie stir-fry. And so I am just chopping up some broccoli florets, and then I am also going to dice up this last carrot that I had in my fridge that needs to be used up. And then I always like to do some purple cabbage. I just really enjoy it. I think it's really good in a stir fry. So then I'm going to dice up some purple cabbage as well. And I'm just going to get this stir fried in my pan with some good sauce, good seasonings, and it's going to be really delicious. Alright, so I've got all my veggies in there, and I'm just going to add some coconut liquid aminos. You could also use soy sauce or tamari, just something salty. And so I'm just going to sprinkle in a bit of that. I don't really measure it. And then I'm also going to do some rice vinegar just to give us a little of an acidic flavor. And it's also slightly sweet, the rice vinegar is. And then I'm also going to do some hot sauce. I usually do sriracha, but right now I don't have sriracha. But I do have Cholula that I just bought. So I think this is going to go nicely in here. So I'm just going to drizzle that into, and I'm telling you guys, the combination of these three sauces in this stir fry is like so addictive. It is delicious. Oh, and I can't forget the minced garlic. So I'm going to do a teaspoon of minced garlic and just stir fry all this together. Okay, so I'm just going to stir these one last time, and then I am going to put on a lid and just let them steam for about 10 minutes. And meanwhile, I'm feeding my cat, and this is my cute little kitty, Mo, eating his breakfast as well. So the veggies are done steaming. We're going to open those up and stir them around, make sure they're fully cooked. I don't like my broccoli like too brown or like too overcooked, so I still like it to be bright green. So I'm going to say these are done, and I'm just going to plate them up so that I can go and enjoy them. So yesterday I didn't eat as many veggies as I would have wanted to, and so something I like to do whenever that happens and I feel like I need more veggies is I'll start off my day with like a big bowl of veggies. So that's why I'm eating broccoli, cabbage, and carrots for breakfast. It just gives me a kickstart for the day, and that way I'm ensuring that I'm getting my veggies in. And when I first wake up in the morning, I'm like really hungry, so veggies sound good to me because I'm actually hungry. So I encourage you guys to give this little tip a try. If you feel like you aren't getting enough veggies in your life, just try eating veggies at the start of your day when you're actually really hungry, and it'll be easier to eat them, and they're going to taste great. And you can try them like this because it's so good. Okay, so I made this giant strawberry pancake, and let me tell you, it is so good. I'll show you guys how I made it. Alright, so I started out with a cup of blended oat flour that I made, but you could also just use already blended oat flour. And then I'm using a cup of regular all-purpose flour. You could also use wheat flour here. And then I'm going to do half a teaspoon of salt. And then I'm also going to do a tablespoon of baking powder. And of course I gotta add in some cinnamon, or a lot of cinnamon, because cinnamon goes great in pancakes. And then I also have this peanut butter powder. I'm gonna add about half a cup of that in here. And I'm just gonna whisk all of our dry ingredients together. Make sure it's combined well. And then in another bowl, I'm gonna do our wet ingredients, and that's just gonna be a tablespoon or so of apple cider vinegar. And then I'm gonna add in probably a cup, maybe a little more if I need it, of soy milk, unsweetened soy milk. But you could also use another plant milk in place of that. And this is just gonna make like a buttermilk type texture for the pancake. It's really good. And of course, a splash of vanilla extract. And then I did make a flax egg on the side, so that was like 1 to 2 tablespoons of ground flax, and then about 3 or 4 tablespoons of warm water, and then I just set it to the side to congeal. So just mixed all of our wet ingredients together, and then we're just going to pour those into our dry ingredients and just give it all a good mix. Make sure it's all combined well. But it is okay if there are some lumps, and it's probably going to be pretty thick, so I think I'm going to have to add some more soy milk. Yeah, so I'll just add another half a cup probably of soy milk. Just mix that again. Okay, and then I'm going to add in a bunch of fresh cut strawberries and just stir that in. It was probably maybe like a cup or a cup and a half of fresh strawberries. And then we're just going to pour this batter into a parchment lined baking dish. You could do it even in a sheet pan probably. You just would probably bake it less than I'm going to bake it. Just make sure it's all evenly spread out so that it bakes evenly. Okay, and then this pancake needs some icing in my opinion, so I'm going to do a half a cup of raw cashews and about a fourth a cup of warm water, and we're just going to blend this into an icing. So we're also going to do a teaspoon or so of vanilla extract, and then I'm going to do a ripe banana, so this will give our icing some sweetness. And then I'm also going to do 2 pitted medjool dates, just because I have them on hand. Not necessary really, you could also do just a tablespoon or 2 of maple syrup instead. And then I'm also going to add in a little bit of lemon juice, just a teeny little bit to give it a slight tanginess. And about, a pinch or so of salt. And then I'm just going to do a little bit of soy milk as well, maybe like a tablespoon. And I'm just going to add in 4 large fresh strawberries and blend that up. And you can see it looking pretty good, like an icing. But I did end up adding 2 tablespoons of oat flour and 2 tablespoons of peanut butter flour. And this is the final product. So it looks delicious, guys. You got to give this a try. Alright guys, so I'm about to give my giant strawberry pancake with strawberry icing a try. Wow. No, seriously, way better than I thought it was gonna be. I've never made this before. I just kind of experimented based off of my regular pancake recipe. Let me tell you guys, this is good. So good, and that icing really just, you know, sets it over the top. You guys should definitely try this. And then I just snacked on an apple on the way to church for a quick snack. Hey guys, so I'm about to prep some lunch. So basically I am just gonna eat some leftovers from last night's dinner, and last night's dinner was potato nachos. And so I've got them in here. I just left on the sheet pan from where I cooked them last night. Just gonna pop this in the oven and get it warmed up. So here's what it kind of looks like. So basically you just make your nachos like you normally do. The only difference is that instead of chips, you're using thinly sliced potatoes that I air fried. Okay, so I've just pulled them out of the oven. They're all warmed up. So I'm just gonna plate that up. And you can see how delicious these are. I'm not even kidding. I love these so much. Alright guys, so I've topped it with some salsa, guacamole, and then some of this queso sauce. It is so good, and it has super clean ingredients. So highly recommend that. And then I topped it with some Cholula as well. Alright, so I'm gonna go enjoy this. So these nachos, I'll just talk about them a little bit since you didn't see me actually make them last night. So I air fried the potatoes after I sliced them thinly, and I just used russet potatoes, and I didn't have to add any oil to them or anything, just air fried them as they were until they got crispy. And then I piled on all my toppings. So for the toppings, I sauteed black beans, onion, red bell pepper, and a little jalapeno pepper, and just some basic taco seasoning on my skillet until it got nice and sauteed. So I topped that on the nachos, and then I put some of that queso sauce I showed you guys, some corn, black olives, and salsa, and I think that was it. Now I put that in the oven for like 20 minutes and let it all melt together, you know. And then I also then whenever I serve it, like I just did, I topped it with the salsa, the guac, and extra queso, and a little Cholula hot sauce. So this is a super, super yummy meal. So let me give it a taste for you guys. Even though I already know it tastes delicious because I ate it last night. Oh my god. I could eat this every day. You literally don't miss the chips at all. Like, if anything, it's better with potatoes. So I didn't have that many nachos left over, so I'm also going to eat some of my leftover veggies from this morning because I didn't finish them, so I'm just going to eat those as a little snack. Okay, so I just whipped up a batch of my tofu mayo, and it's super simple. It just has firm silken tofu, the juice of 1 lemon, about a teaspoon of salt, a tablespoon of Dijon mustard, and then what else? Oh, a tablespoon and a half of maple syrup. And then you just process it up until it's super smooth and creamy like mayo. And I'm gonna use this in my recipe later tonight for dinner. Alright, so I'm gonna do some Instant Pot pinto beans for dinner. So I have processed up a whole giant sweet onion, and so that's what's going in here to begin to saute. And I'm gonna cook the onion down with some garlic, and then I'm gonna add in some cauliflower to bulk out my pinto beans with some veggies. And then I'll add in my pinto beans and probably a can of diced tomatoes, just for some extra flavor. And then I might do some seasonings too, so we'll see. Alright, so the onions are cooking down nicely. Now I'm gonna add in the garlic. I'm gonna do like a heaping teaspoon of garlic. Probably more like 2 teaspoons. And then I'm gonna add in some salt. Probably about half a teaspoon of salt. And then some freshly cracked garlic. Then I'm going to add in a can of these diced fire roasted tomatoes, and these are unsalted. That's why I put in so much salt. And then I am going to add some hot sauce, some Cholula. Probably about like a tablespoon or so. You can always add more at the end if it's not spicy enough. Then just stir that up. And the next one in is going to be 2 cans of pinto beans. And then lastly, I'm going in with a whole head of cauliflower. And this cauliflower is going to cook down a lot, and it'll get really soft, and it'll just kind of blend into this, to these pinto beans. Just make sure everything is good and coated. And I am going to add 1 cup of veggie broth just to help everything cook. All right, I'm going to put the lid on the Instant Pot. And we're gonna cook it on the, let's see, bean chili setting. So it looks like high pressure for 20 minutes. All right, so I had about 4 medium-sized zucchinis, and I'm just gonna grate those, and so I'll show you guys what that looks like after I grate it. Okay, so we've got all those zucchinis grated, and just to help draw out the moisture, I'm going to salt them a little bit. The salt just helps draw out the moisture of the zucchinis. Okay, so I've just put the zucchini in my colander and then set a bowl underneath of it just because I'm curious how much liquid is actually going to come out of these. So I'll let you guys know. I'll probably let it sit for like 15 minutes or so. All right, so I just squeezed out the remaining liquid with a paper towel, and look how much we've got. Wow. So yeah, you definitely don't want to skip this step, or else you're going to have soggy casserole. Okay, so we have our zucchini. I'm gonna add a cup or a can of sweet corn. Already drained it. And then I'm gonna add 2 flax eggs. A tablespoon of apple cider vinegar. And then I'm gonna add a cup of my tofu mayo. And this is just to replace like the traditional creaminess of the casseroles that usually comes from sour cream or regular mayonnaise or yogurt. So we are going to use this tofu mayo to give it that creaminess. I'm just gonna give this a mix. I'm not gonna add any liquid to it, like the soy milk or anything, until the end, just to see if I even need it, because this zucchini is gonna keep producing more liquid as it sits. And like I said, we don't want a soggy casserole, so. Alright. So you can see I got it good and mixed, and next we're gonna add in our dry ingredients, which is the cornbread mixture that I made earlier. You could use like packaged cornbread mix, but I didn't have any of that, so made my own. So we're just gonna put that in there and then give it a good mix. Okay, so I've got it all mixed, and I'm just gonna let this sit because I think it is gonna produce more moisture, and I don't wanna have to add any liquid to it. So I'm gonna let it sit for like 10 minutes before I decide if it needs more liquid or if I'll just put it in the oven like that. Okay, so I didn't add any more liquid to it. I just put it in my pan. Next, I'm gonna top it with some whole wheat Pinto breadcrumbs, and then some of this Parmesan that I made the other day. That's just the raw cashews, nutritional yeast, salt, and garlic powder processed up. Just a thin layer, you don't need too much. All right, and that looks good to me. I'm gonna put it in the oven for about 45 minutes at 350 and then see what it looks like. All right, so we got the zucchini casserole, and then we've got our pintos back here with the cauliflower in it. And I'll go ahead and give this a taste for you guys. Okay, so first I will taste the pintos and cauliflower. That's really comforting, yeah. The hot sauce goes perfectly in that. And then I will try the casserole. Wow. This is a great combo. It's kind of like a play on pintos and cornbread. So I am Southern, so that's like a Southern staple. So I was just trying to think of ways how I could reinvent that and make it whole food, plant-based, and just incorporate more veggies. So this is what I came up with, and I'm loving it. So me and my husband just like to go outside and, you know, get active after dinner. So we just, here lately we've been into throwing baseball. So we go in our backyard, throw baseball, play fetch with our cat, because he's weird like that and likes to play fetch like a dog. But yeah, don't forget to get out and get active. Alright guys, so that's everything that I ate today. I hope you guys enjoyed watching, and if you would, please comment down below if you try anything that I had today, and if you guys would like the recipes to anything specifically, also comment down below and let me know, and I can put those in the comments for you. So thanks again for watching. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Bye guys!